Beyoncé has been snubbed by the Country Music Awards despite having one of the biggest country hits of the year with Texas Hold'em. The Grammy winner was notably absent in the nominees for the ceremony, which was announced on Monday morning with not a single nomination. Well, talk a little bit more about this. Let's cross live to Nashville and speak to Alice Randall, an American author, songwriter and producer. Alice, it's such a pleasure to have you on The World today and have your expertise. And the question many people are asking, scratching their heads about today, is why do you think Beyoncé was left out?
Well, I am a voting member of the Country Music Association, and I am proud to say I voted for her in multiple categories. I think that one could attribute it to gatekeeping. One could attribute it to sexism. One could attribute it to woeful lack of knowledge of what Black women have historically contributed to country music. But I think there was I believe there's a lot of sexism in this occurrence.
Tell me, why do you think, in your opinion, that sexism is clearly so prevalent in the country music industry?
What I will just say is that when I arrived in Nashville in 1983, Charlie Pride had already had 29 #1 country songs hits. And until Beyonce had Texas Hold'em, not one Black woman had ever reached the top of the charts, although many Black men have been in that place. So I want to just point out in this moment that we're seeing yet another time that Black women are turning in excellent performances, but not receiving the same result that Black men, such as Charlie Pride, who turned in an excellent performance, received.
What needs to change?
We need to get better educated. The industry needs to understand that Black women have been in recorded country music since the beginning, since 1930, when Lil Hardin Armstrong played on the first million-selling country record. And we need to realize that there is a giant global audience that includes Black and brown people who love country and are participating in country, and they need to be welcomed in. But most significantly, we just have to deal with the real. Cowboy Carter was a brilliant country album. In much the same way, when Ray Charles released Modern Sounds in country and Western music in the 60s, the establishment denied it was a country album, but we all know it was. And today it is honored in the Country Music Hall of Fame Rotunda as one of the great country albums. I think people who took this vote at this time will see the future, judge them as harshly as we just judge the people who kept Ray Charles out in the early 60s when he deserved to be acknowledged.
Okay, Alice Randall, it's such a pleasure to talk to you all the way from Nashville. Thank you so much for coming onto The World today and talking to us about Beyoncé and the country music.